Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IV. In the last one we got to the giant Babel, now we're fighting a giant clockwork dragon. Clockwork dragons have 18,000 HP, 41,400 XP, 2,550 gil. Can drop golden apples very rarely, but that's not why I'm fighting these guys. They also don't have any elemental weaknesses. The main way you want to go about killing these things is using Tornado and then just physically attacking them. The reason I'm fighting that guy is they give about 8,000 experience points. And now I'm jump cutting to a particular fight against a searcher, because searchers can randomly summon clockwork dragons. Thus, by just using a tiny little bolt spell on it, tornadoing the clockwork dragon it summons, then killing it, and bolting the searcher again, another clockwork dragon will spawn, giving me experience farming.
I did not know about this trick, and then I did it in the Super Nintendo version, and I swear I got like 999,000 experience. It was dumb.
I've never gone that far, but it's certainly the best way to fight. I want to say I cut it out after this one, but I was here for about 40 minutes plus-ish, somewhere around there.
That's pretty committed.
Yeah, it doesn't give me quad 9s, it doesn't give me max experience points, that's for certain, but this is more or less here so I can give myself... I just did this basically until I realized I had enough of a comfortable experience barrier to the point where enemies wouldn't be giving me shit from here on out, because let's see, 20,000 experience points, 62,000 XP. That's about, I want to say, 5 or 6 levels for most people. So now I should probably be around, yeah, early 50s.
50s.
I want to say Cecil was like level 47 at the end of the last part.
What I don't like is how in this game, your summoners and your mages do not get a lot of health in this game.
Yeah, it's not very good. Either way, yeah, that's the only other thing I need to do here in the Giant Babel aside from plot, so let's head forward and... oh, we're stopping. What?
Summon Satan?
Close enough. Hey guys, how you doing? We,
Barbaricia,
killed a lot of you.
Cognazo, Scarmiglione, and Rubicante have visited us.
How you doing, buds?
They have joined the lobby.
Pissed off against us killing you earlier? It's self-defense. Come on, no harm done, right? Oh, you're still healing
not
us.
not on Rubicante's part. Rubicante's kind of happy to see you.
Yeah, and he heals you again, which honestly makes me wish I didn't use the tent before that. But oh well. Time to fight Elemental Archfiend, an interesting boss fight.
Okay, so the thing about this fight, I don't know if this is the case in all the versions, but in the PSP version, their HP pool is shared. The total HP is 112,000. In total, you'll get 62,500 EXP for the fight. You don't get a set amount of gil for it for some reason. I don't really know how that works. PSP, they drop potions, but it's time to talk about the forms. You'll start off with fighting Scarmiglione. Scarmiglione is weak to Holy and Fire, and he absorbs Ice. He's also weak to throwing weapons. Form 2, you're going to fight Cognazo. Cognazo is weak to Fire and Holy. Oh, I guess they're all weak to it. Maybe. I can't really... yeah, it looks like they're all weak to the same thing. But in the Super Nintendo version, they actually have different weaknesses. Barbaricia is weak to Holy and Wind. Scarmiglione is weak to Holy and Fire. Cognazo is weak to Holy and Thunder, and Rubicante is weak to Ice and Holy, I believe. I think that's what I'm remembering from the Super Nintendo version.
I don't think I've ever seen them be weak to Holy, but I've rarely ever used it. First off, in terms of strategy for this fight, I want to use Faraga during Cognazo once, because we're going to transition to, Rubicante right around now. You gotta want to Blizzaga twice during this phase, just so he can get that same weakness on himself again, because he'll still cast Blizzard 2 on himself.
I don't think he goes inside his cape in this one here, does he?
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Rama and Thundaga are probably the best to do against Cognazo. And Barbaricia, you can just go out. I actually recommend against using Bahamut, because I recall the MP cost just not being worth it for stuff coming up. But I do recall that in the Super Nintendo version in particular, Barbaricia was mistakenly weak against lightning.
I can check that right now, actually.
And I do know for a fact that in the Super Nintendo version, Sylph, for some reason, acts as a free cost summon. I don't know why. But yeah, otherwise, their strategies themselves remain the same. Their weaknesses are basically all the same. Like Rubicon still absorbs fire and all that.
She's not weak to lightning in the Super Nintendo version. So.
No, she is. It's a glitch.
Oh, I got you.
It doesn't list it as much, but she is unintentionally weak to it. That was fixed in advance, but in the Super Nintendo version, she's weak to lightning, so I guess that's useful. Thematically, I actually kind of like this fight, but in terms of an actual original boss fight, it's not very interesting because it's basically just abridged versions of the actual fights.
I felt like they just kind of threw it in there just because.
Yeah, padding, I guess. Maybe they had like a certain amount of boss files they wanted to make. Like maybe they started making bosses with the final boss, and then they realized, oh wait, there's this one boss slot we don't have filled. What do we do?
I mean, I still feel like they just put it in there because I mean, like you'll fight another boss in this place like in 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't understand the point of fighting the Archfiends and then you're fighting another boss 5 seconds later. You know?
Yeah, I don't like that. But that said, though, I believe this is the second to last time we hear the Battle Against the Four Fiends theme. Barring one plot event later on, so I guess a fitting farewell to the theme otherwise.
Is there one more time where you hear it? I actually don't remember.
I think there is. I know for a fact there is in 3D through the optional boss fights in the whatever post-game DS has, really, through Proto-Babel and Jarian, because that's a thing. In the DS version, there's a super boss against basically a combination of all four fiends at once, similarly to this, except instead of being a transfer through all four fiends, they're literally fused together into something called Jarian or Jarian or something like that. It's an annoying fight.
Ew.
Proto-Babel, I think, is the worst of the two, though, because he has access to a certain attack in the next fight, if I recall correctly.
Globe 199?
Yeah, we'll go over that attack when we get to it. Bahamut, I only recommend using when you know you're about to win the fight, because I believe they might have a specific counterattack. I forget exactly why don't use it too much in the notes here.
I wonder why the amount of money you get is not determinate.
That's actually a good point, because some enemies it's determinate, sometimes it's not. The way I would figure that out in Dragon Quest is that enemies can drop a range of gil in Dragon Quest, but I don't know about here. And that was me going to use a cottage because I took some damage.
That's
there.
how it works in Final Fantasy 12. There only humanoid enemies will ever drop gil, but at that point it's like you will gain somewhere around 20 to 30 from this thing. You'll gain around 100 to 300 from this thing.
Yeah, and by the way, I just turned I have the Yoichi arrows now on, or was it the lightning arrows now on Rosa, as well as the battle setting set to keep again, because now it's time for the CPU in a very rare animated sprite. First off, this thing is made of 3 parts, obviously. First off, we got the CPU core itself, which is 30,000 HP, 50,000 XP, 10,333 gil, and it only has 2 things. It'll cast Reflect on stuff like it did there, and if you destroy the attack node there on the bottom, it'll use Globe 199. In the DS version, it's if you destroy both nodes. And Globe 199 deals quad 9s to 2 of your party members, so have fun recovering from that.
Only one of them, though, right?
I forget. I want to say it might be 2, but doesn't matter.
Okay, I believe I actually have the attack node. The attack node has 3,000 HP, and that's all you know about it. Because
it can use laser, and that will do 10% of your HP. Except in DS, where I think it'll do around 3,000, so take that out. The DS strategy is actually reversed from what it is here, because here in the PSP/GBA/SNES version, you want to go after the defense node because its 2,000 healing is kind of hard to outpace. Whereas in the DS version, you actually want to take out the
defense node first?
No, the attack node only, because
I see.
It's easier to outpace that 2,000 damage in DS.
But wait. Didn't you say that the 2,000 healing is weird to keep up with, though?
Only in the 2D versions.
Okay.
In the 3D versions, you have much better ways to do that much damage more quickly. Plus, I think you can theoretically, I forget exactly what you can do to it, but there's ways around it. Actually, wait, no. It does around 800 HP in 3D, that's right. So, it's easier to outpace. Nice little reversal of the strategy there, but otherwise, what you want to do through this fight is just take out the defense node, and use self against the CPU, haste everyone up, and then just go all out physically. A fight I had a lot of trouble with before I realized the whole shtick with Globe 199, but nowadays, nothing to really fear.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I think my first time doing this fight, I would cast Reflect on my party members and just reflect it and hope it would attack the CPU and not the node. It's not a very reliable strategy, but...
It's not a bad one, but it's certainly a dangerous one. Also, that's why I set my settings to keep, so that once I got to this point in the fight, I could just speed through it with the auto fight and...
You're summoning Chocobo against it. Oh, she doesn't even have the chance to. That's sad.
I think I didn't actually mean to do that. But there goes the giant CPU, so now this thing is basically just a hunk of metal. Uh-oh. What about us?
Oh, hi.
I always loved the scene because Golbez actually came off across his kind of whine, like, how dare you destroy the giant? Do you know how much time it took me to get this thing up here, man? What the hell? Fusoya, what are you doing?
Do I know you?
Realize who he really is? Yeah, he's an asshole, but what else? Stop it.
You must wake up. Wake me up inside.
And don't. Oh, dated meme. Damn, epic bitch slap. The Lunarian theme. What are you talking about, Golbez? True self?
What's the father's name?
Memory test? Really? Come on, man. Uh-oh.
Oh. Irony time.
Oh, boy. Well, that's a big coincidence. I guess, Klee is a pretty common name around, huh? No, they're brothers. A plot twist I love, but also kind of hate for reasons I'll get into in the credits, because it has to do with the whole Zemus thing.
Honestly, what I didn't like was that it was just so sudden. Like, there was absolutely no hints dropped throughout the entirety of the game. And then
the only
just
one I can
boom. It's just boom. They're brothers. Ha ha. Joke's on you.
I think the 3D version hints towards it once or twice more. I think Kluya during the whole Paladin Ascension thing mentions it.
Huh.
But the closest we get to a reference to this before this is two things. One, the scene where he doesn't kill you in the Tower of Zod because it's implied that Tella's meteor loosened Zemus' grip on him momentarily. And two, the scene with Fusoya on the moon talking about Zemus controlling someone. But yeah, Golbez is all kind of gung-ho about taking out Zemus now because God knows how much of his life was wasted to do this, and they're not letting us join in for some reason. Come on, guys. I got a competent sword.
Gotta have that holy and gotta have that Golbez with Meteo. Does he
got a ninja who can do stuff like taste the floor? Yeah, Cecil, what you doing, man?
Gotta let him go, right?
Now, this, admittedly, while I'm not a big fan of the twist, I actually do kind of like the way that Cecil reacts to it. Because first off, finding out that the person you have the most hate for in the world is actually your brother would be a shock. And because of that, he's kind of frozen. Also, the giant of Babel's shaking. I guess it's dance party time?
The giant of Babel's just having a good old time.
This way. Who? Oh, yeah, you.
Hi.
So, gotta stab me in the back again? Alright, guess I'll follow you. I got nothing else to do, really. Yeah, hurry. I don't know why we're still standing still.
Another thing I don't like is that Kane's just kind of out of nowhere like, hi, I'm no longer under control.
Yeah, it would have helped if maybe we had seen him in a scene before that in the battle, but otherwise...
I would agree.
Ooh.
Rip the giant.
See you in the DS version as a super boss.
Ew. Wait, is the name of the giant Proto-Babel?
Yeah, Proto-Babel.
Oh, Babel.
It shrinks down quite a bit because it's like the size of an Arc Fiend, but it's powerful. Rosa brings up a good point here. Can we really blame the guy for being under the control of someone else who was under control? It was just a chain of hypnotism. I mean, sure, as I think Kane even brings up here, part of it was probably instilled by some actual darkness in his heart and all that shit, but it's a complicated friendship these two share now. But Kane's all about helping us now because he has to give Zemus a piece of his mind for doing all that shit.
I think it's quite funny, honestly.
And I do like this detail. He even says, if I even look like I'm about to betray you again, just chop my goddamn head off. Stab me in my eye holes. Wow, that was verbal vomit. Eye holes. But Cecil wants to see the end of this too, so it's time for us to head back to the moon.
Good. The moon has my favorite things in it. Also my least favorite things in it.
Wait, what? Cecil!
What? No.
You're going to tell the white mage and the very competent black mage summoner to stay behind. How dumb are you?
Okay.
God, D&D is right. Non-Oathbreaker paladins aren't very intelligent.
Gross.
At least that's what my friends tell me, because their campaign just had a paladin join.
Oh, wow. Rude.
Edge! Dickweed! All of you! I never liked this plot point.
I didn't even understand what the point was.
Yeah. I find it pointless for a couple reasons. One, they've proven themselves to be competent, and they're the only reason we're alive at this point, so what the hell, guys? And two, the scene doesn't really have any tension because, as we're about to see, it doesn't necessarily last that long. Let's go to the moon!
I thought it was just filler.
Oh, and they're already here! So what was the exact point of all that? They're here anyway! Come on! Yeah, this scene's dumb. I love this game, but I never liked this. Not only do I feel like it comes out of nowhere, all things considered, but it's overall pointless. The most we get to see is another, "You're the man I love, and I'm gonna make sure that we die together, damn it!"
The one good thing that comes out of the scene is the fact that we can hear the theme of love again. And the theme of love is really, really, really good.
I think this is the second to last time we hear it in the game. And we get to see that sprite again, I guess. But one little detail I like is Kane doesn't turn around this time like he did during the reunion at Tower of Zod. Oh, and yeah, Rydia's here too because duh. Do you think we're gonna go into the final dungeon with only 4 party members?
I feel like the last dungeon in the game would literally be impossible without Rydia. Just saying.
Yeah. The first couple of floors, maybe, but like the last floors where the environment changes a little bit, yeah. And there was something interesting. You may now change party members at a place. We'll go over that next part because that's when it comes into more play.
Wait, what?
What we're doing for the rest of this part is going over something from the DS version. We're gonna have some voice cutscenes, so time to be silent.
Why was I so consumed by hate?
You've regained your senses then. Do you remember your father's name?
My father, his name was Kluya.
Then you're Cecil's own
Brother? Golbez is mine. You were being manipulated by the all-powerful will of Zemus. Your Lunarian blood rendered you an easy target for his curse and bound your thoughts to his. To think Kluya's sons would be made to fight one another.
Vasoya! I fought him. I hated him. My own brother.
You are my brother.
But were it me, the one Zemus chose to control, our roles might just as well have been reversed.
No, there was evil in me, long before all this.
What?
I'm the one who abandoned you.
Here in the 3D version, we're actually going to get a lot more details about Golbez and Cecil's origins. And this is, I think, the only time we theoretically get, physically rather, get to see his mother and his father.
I do like how
now,
Kluya has his own, like, design, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm inserting this just because I'm not sure if I'm ever going to LP the 3D version, so I might as well go over the exclusive scene now.
Theodore? They named him Theodore?
Yep, that is Golbez's real name. It's not even Theodore, it's Theodore. No E at the end.
Theodore.
And we even get to control around with little Golbez a little bit. How you doing, Ma? Now, something about the mother's name seems familiar. Where's father? Yeah, that's a good point. Where is Kluya? No, let's head on out there and talk to him. Seems like the very important thing
Did you have to play through the DS version literally just for this moment?
No, I actually, conveniently enough, one of my cousins was playing the game via Steam around the time I was recording this, so I asked them if they could record this sequence for me, so I didn't have to play it myself.
Wow, that really is convenient.
Yeah, I was even like, this is way too convenient sounding. I know it does sound like that, but thanks, Justin. Ah, and there's Kluya. How you doing, old man? See how you doing. Yeah, he seems to be watching the lake water. What you doing, man? Yeah, I guess Kluya would be looking up at the moons fairly often. Given, Lunarian. Although something that's a bit odd when it comes to Kluya's design in 3D is that every other Lunarian we see in the game, be it Cecil, a certain character in the sequels, two certain characters in the sequel, actually, and Fusoya are white-haired / silver / platinum, whatever. Kluya is the only Lunarian we see who doesn't have that silver hair when he's an adult.
Yeah, that is really weird. I didn't notice that.
That's always been odd to me. I can make sense of Golbez not having it here as a kid due to reasons, but yeah. Oh, how you doing, Ma?
Oh, no.
You don't look very fine. Working hard with what? This little one. Oh, yeah. She's pregnant with Cecil. I do love this scene, though, because look how excited he almost seems. Aww. Elder brother needs to set a good example. This scene does make me wonder, though. Had what's going to happen not happened, what would this family be like? Kluya, what about him?
Sorry I'm being so quiet, I'm just, like, really curious.
Oh, crap, he's basically been assassinated. Oh. Yeah, that is something now I think about. We never really get details on in the original 4. We never get details of how Kluya died. We just know he did at some point. Same with Cecil's mother. Damn. Also, this is one of the few times we actually get to hear some of the DS soundtrack for right now. I like the DS soundtrack a lot, but it just sounds too soft in a lot of cases. Oh, that's sad. In a way, this actually kind of reminds me of Rydia, because she tried to cast Cure on a certain someone that was not doing too well. Same with Cecil.
Ugh.
Oh, and there's little Cecil. Yeah, you just went through a lot. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't. Calm down there, girl.
She looks very caring, though.
Yeah. In fact, it's not so clear here because we don't get a good chance to see Cecil's model throughout 4 3D, but they actually resemble each other a lot. Oh, no. Two parents that quickly, god damn. So now they're orphans. Shit.
Oh boy. What is Theodore gonna do with this little boy?
Hello, random voice. Who'd have all you suffered? Oh, I guess this is
what?
supposed to be Z-Mess.
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa.
And the birth of the villain. Something I like here is that unlike some villains who hear those kind of lines like he's the entire root of your suffering, he doesn't go all out for it immediately. He actually tries to resist. Oh, and Baron soldiers. Well, there's a baby crying, so I guess he didn't stab Cecil. Obviously. Oh,
That's the king.
This is actually one of a few scenes in 3D where you actually get to see the king before the whole Cognazo thing. Because there's another scene earlier on that kind of goes into the relationship between Cecil, Kane, and Rosa as children. And they actually talk about like how Kane's basically doing that stuff for his father. Cecil's basically trying to live up to his adoptive father. The one convenient fact I never quite understood. Apparently the King of Baron knew Cecil's mother, Cecilia, and that's why Cecil's named Cecil. By complete coincidence.
That is... plot convenience.
Yeah. Still, though, I love this chain of scenes because it actually makes me sympathize a bit more with Golbez. Because in the original game, they don't give you much to go off of on why we should trust him after all of that, despite him not being under Zemus' control anymore.
After that, I took to the borderlands, where I could hide from others' eyes. Racked by guilt, ashamed to show my face. I would not think to ask for your forgiveness now, but I am glad that you survived. What better a pawn could Zemus have possibly chosen than this?
Where will you go?
To put an end to all of this.
Zemus is a Lunarian, as am I. I will go with you.
Farewell, Cecil.
Cecil, is this all right?
That man, he means to die. He's your brother.
My brother.
Your blood. Your only living family.
Whoa.
But yeah, that's a chain of scenes that was added, and I like it because they actually not only make you kind of feel for Golbez a lot more, but it's also just a better written scene. As Shakespearean as the 3D version script is, it is a storyline improvement.
I would agree. It definitely adds a lot of depth. Why are you storing your sirens?
Because I only need about 2 stacks at the moment, and even then, before we end this off, we have about, I think, 2 minutes left. I am not only getting everyone optimized with equipment, but I'm also getting ready to do one last little steel farm. Because we're not heading into the final dungeon yet. First off, we're back in the Lodestone Cavern because I want to encounter an ogre in here. because ogres have something very particular I want to steal from them. A
Spider
full stack
silk?
of them, basically. No, the ogres have Bacchus wines, which will allow me to not waste a turn on having Rosa cast Berserk on someone.
Thank God for Mini.
Best way to do that, just mini an ogre and steal. Menu is still on keep as usual, and now I basically just have everyone else defend, Rosa pray, and that's all we need. I want to say I go for 1 to 2 full stacks of each of the 2 items I'm going out of my way to steal farm.
You turned Shrek tiny, now you're stealing all of his wine. That's not very nice.
I almost want to say someone shrinking was a plot point in one of the Shrek films. And you know what? I think it was... no, actually, no, technically it didn't shrink. It was the fact that Fiona's dad was the Frog Prince.
Still use Toad on him.
Yeah. So yeah, 1 full stack of Bacchus wines. That should be enough to even put me through the post-game. And now we're actually back near Tanra because I want to encounter a specific enemy in the area around here. Also, I have a bit more items in my area just so I can...
You used a siren
Get
to
stuff.
find a tunneler? For spider silks, of course.
Yes, because having... I want to say I do go for 2 full stacks of Spider Silks because they are more useful in the long run than Bacchus wines. Because Bacchus wines, basically, I'm saving for boss fights. Spider Silks I can use on a lot of other occasions. So 1 to 2 full stacks later, we can just kill this thing.
See, I don't have that kind of commitment. Except for sirens, because I love the best armor in this game.
Admittedly, getting all the sirens and all the stealing stuff extended my gameplay time by probably 7 hours, including something I'm getting in the final dungeon. Most runs of Final Fantasy IV only take me around 15 hours, if even. Either way, with that, we're going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 15, we're not heading off to endgame yet. There's one new thing the Game Boy Advance version added, technically, that I want to show off here in the PSP version. See you guys then.
It's worth noting that I've never seen this stuff before, so it's new for me too. Whoopee.
Ooh. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh boy.